Hi, welcome to another video. We are starting to reach the end of January, so I wanted to update you on my planner and journaling lineup this year. In the beginning of January, I uploaded a video where I decorated my planner. And in that video, I briefly mentioned some of the journals I meant to use this year, but I didn't mention the whole setup, and also I thought it could be interesting to see how my system works now, after a month of using it. This is the books I will be using this year. Some of them are books I've been using for years. One is something I've returned to, and some are completely new to me. Let's start with the first book in this lineup, which is the 10-year journal from Paper Blanks. I got it as a present 8 years ago from my mom, and so it's on its 2 last years now. I don't want to open it because it feels personal, but what I love about it is how you can see what you did that very day last year or even 8 years ago. You can see how you grow as a person, or you can remember good moments that you might have forgotten otherwise. Also, it's a very beautiful journal. Second in the lineup, we have my diary. It's in my Chic Sparrow case, so I can easily have access to some stickers while I'm journaling. Last year, I used the Hobonichi Hon, which has monthly, weekly, and daily pages. And so that year I used those daily pages to journal about my days. But before that year, I used to journal in notebooks like this. I picked this one up from a stash of empty journals that I stashed up on during those years when I didn't have a Hobonichi Hon. This particular journal is a flame tree journal. I love them because they are so beautiful. I either want butter smooth pages that gives me pleasure to write on, or a beautiful journal that makes me want to reach for it when I see it. My dream is to have both, of course, in one journal, but it's not always easy to find. This one is beautiful, but the pages isn't smooth or meant for fountain pens. But since I'm mostly using fine or extra fine fountain pen nibs, it works for me anyway. Next we have my planner. It's a Midori Kuroneko planner. In the beginning of the year, I carried it inside my Chic Sparrow to be able to carry my planner and my diary at one same place, like I did with the Hobonichi Hon. It worked for me for a week, but after that I started not liking the system so much. The different sizes didn't make sense to me, and also it felt better to carry around the planner by itself. It was lighter and easier, so now I carry them separately. Which I did before the Hobonichi Hon anyway, so. The planner itself works very well for me. I've made use for all the different sections in it, and it's helping me a lot. Next we have my tarot journal. It's so beautiful and velvet smooth. Before this year, I used to journal about my daily draws in my diary, but last year I fell in love with this journal, and so I have this journal for my tarot reading this year. It's a journal from Notebook Therapy. So far, I love it very much. I haven't filled out as much as I wanted yet in it, because I knew that I would want to make this video. But this journal has a About Me page, affirmation, a spread for the moon phases this year, some how-to-dos and manifestation pages. And after those pages starts my readings. They are secret. But I started this year, as I've done for many years, with a New Year reading with this oracle deck. You could use any deck to make a New Year reading, but I do like this one in particular because how it's built. It has seasons, attitude cards, and, well, some vertical cards. So yeah, they make it perfect for a New Year reading. For my daily draws, I usually work with different tarot decks depending on seasons or feelings. This week I'm using this deck. It's a beautiful tarot deck that are using stories from all around the world to show its cards' meanings. Last in line, we have my reading journal. I have been using this journal for 3 years already, and I think it's sadly the last year now that I can use it. It's also a velvet journal from Notebook Therapy. My reading journal spreads are pretty easy. This is how it looks for this year. First page, best book of the year spread, where I first write out my favorite books from each month, and then 3 books from the 3 different months are competing for who's the best of those 3, and then those are competing for who's the best of them. And at the end of the year, I finally know which book was my favorite that year. Next we have the bookshelf, where I will draw in the books I'm reading into the bookshelf. TBR and, what to call this? Blackboard? Scribble page? Well, here I write out quotes from the books I'm reading that sticks out to me in some way, like something clever or, well written, or quotes that maybe made me cry a little bit. Yeah, quotes I want to remember in one way or another. Then I usually have a spread for each book. So far, I only read 1 book this January. I've only decorated the spread so far, as you can see, but not written about it yet. But mostly, I first write shortly about the book, like why I picked it, for example, then what it's about, and my thoughts about it. And lastly, I'm rating the book that I've read. But yeah, that is my lineup for this year. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, or if I mentioned something in this video that you would like to know more about. But until then, stay warm and cozy, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!